So the Center for Innovation and Technology has launched an investigation into the expanding network of recruiters who are linked to the Russia-Ukraine war. These recruiters are said to be operating in Zimbabwe and across southern Africa. Just last week, more than 10 South African men were brought back home after they too were allegedly lured to go fight on the front lines for Russia under false pretenses. Let's bring into the conversation journalist and CITE Director Zenzele Ndebele, joining us from Bulawayo in Zimbabwe this evening. Zenzele, good to have your time. So your investigation describes the recruitment of these African men under false pretenses as a deceptive operation. Speak to us about how it works exactly.
Yeah, good evening to you. Yeah, we have spoken to a number of some of these guys who were recruited to Russia. Most of them told us that they were told that they were constructing jobs in Russia and they were going to go there, check the situation, then bring back their workers. Some were told that they were going to be drivers, jobs like that. It was only when they went to Russia that they were told that it was a military job. One of the guys that we interviewed is in Russia. He says that when he then inquired that how can he go back, so he was told that there were two options: either to join the military or to go to jail. Despite the fact that he said he was willing to pay back the money for the tickets that were used to take him back to take him to Russia. So there are various stories of how some of these guys end up in Russia. Some of them are told that you're going to be working in the military industry, but not in the war front. And they are promised huge sums of money, citizenship, and many benefits that don't turn out to be true.
So for those then who, when they realize that ultimately they've been duped to participating in active warfare and don't want to be deployed to the front line, do they ultimately indeed end up in prison or in the prison system in Russia? And do we know of people who have been incarcerated as a result of a refusal to participate in the war?
I think most of these are just threats, and of course, most of them they end up in the front rather than opting to go to jail. We haven't met anyone who said they opted to go to jail, so I can't verify that there's anyone in the Russian jails who refused to go to the front. But we know that there are quite a number of Zimbabweans who are in the front who said they were not willing to go, but now they're stuck there and they're asking for help to come back.
You also say that for those who do take up this opportunity, if we can call it that, because that's how it is ultimately presented, they're given a one-year military contract, am I right? So at the end of that contract, do they have the free will to go back home? And during their time on the front line, do they actually earn salaries?
So what we have established is that in terms of the contract, it's a one-year contract. After serving for 6 months, you get a 2-week leave. Then after a year, you come back. But we haven't seen anyone who have served for a year, so we don't know whether they're going to come back. But what we know is that when they get there, their passport is confiscated, so they don't have their passport, and some of them, they're not even allowed phones. Then the issue of money varies a lot. There are guys who told us that when they got there, they were paid 36,000, equivalent of 36,000 US dollars. Then 6,000 was deducted for airfares, and immediately they were deployed in the Donbass and Luhansk region, so they were not able to send back money home. A few managed to send money back home, but some of them are stuck with money in Russia because once they get to Ukraine, they don't have the network to send the money back. And we were told that so-and-so died with his money still in the account. And there's also something that has emerged this week, that most of these guys have gone there with a month-long visa. They're given a visa that is 1 month. And those who went in November, December, their visas have expired, and some of them can no longer access these monies in the banks.
Who are the recruiters who are doing this? And is there a direct link, Zenzele, between themselves and the two governments that are ultimately involved in this war?
We have not seen a link that the Russian government is involved. These are mainly third-party contractors, they are travel agents, and they are actually military contractors. But the question is, how do these guys get visas? Is it because of the pretext that we have seen letters for these guys being invited for to experience Russian life, or some of them saying that they are going for scholarship. So we didn't see any evidence that the Russian government is involved. And the question is, are they not aware that there's something like this that is happening?
And do we have an accurate enough sense in terms of numbers, reliable data, Zenzele, of the number of Zimbabweans, other Southern Africans? I mean, I referenced South Africa, which has also had men who say they were lured to participate in this war, who are currently on the front line at the moment. And for Zimbabwe specifically, is the government of the day doing anything to try and stop this recruitment?
We estimate, we having talked to the guys who are there, some of them in the training camps and in various areas, that there are between 300 and 500 Zimbabweans who are in Russia currently, and they keep going. On average, we estimate that about 20 Zimbabweans are traveling to Russia. The Zimbabwean government, we spoke last week to the Minister of Public and Social Welfare. He said the Zimbabwean government was aware of these reports. They are looking into them. They are taking them with very seriously, and they are going to be, looking at what appropriate measures can be taken. We are also expecting that at some point the Minister of Foreign Affairs is going to do something about it. So I would say I think the Zimbabwean government is aware of this, and they are currently investigating or trying to get as much detail as they can on this situation.
Zenzele Ndebele, good to talk to you, speaking to us about the recruitment of Zimbabweans to participate in the war for Russia in its war effort against Ukraine.